Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Bayley, one of the creators of this group, and I'm a plant-based transformation specialist. What that means is that I help people transform their bodies and their life using three main components: plant-based nutrition, smart physical training, and a growth mindset. And all this month through September, we are helping you guys with some back-to-school type ideas, and not just stuff that's good for kids or people with children in school, but just generally a busy lifestyle and making sure that things are still healthy and, of course, plant-based always. So today we're talking about breakfast, and I've got to say, when it comes to breakfast ideas, the overnight oats have got to be the best combination of both nutritious and super quick and easy, and definitely easy for meal prepping.
So Yanni says, hey.
Hey, Yanni. So, I wanted, and sometimes you guys may have heard of things like overnight oats. Yeah, I've heard of that. But you kind of forget about it, or you don't necessarily know exactly how to execute it. You haven't done it enough times to where you feel comfortable with it, and it's quick and easy because you know exactly how to do it. So I'm going to show you guys some ideas, and I want you to start practicing it because it is such a lifesaver when it comes to breakfast in the mornings. So I'm going to deconstruct the overnight oats for you guys. This is one that I prepped the other day, so it's already ready to go. You can see how it turns into oatmeal, and basically you don't have to do any cooking. You just soak it, put the ingredients together, stick it in the refrigerator, and it's ready to go.
And you do that especially right now with our little girl Zia.
Yes.
You just, so explain that.
I've got a meal in a jar. It's so easy for me to grab it and just and it's really best eaten cold. I mean, you could heat it up. You could stick your jar in the microwave in the morning if you like it hot. But that way I don't have to worry because I'm so used to eating cold meals now. Because as soon as I start to eat...
#mom life.
Yeah, as soon as I start to eat, she wants to eat. So then I always eat everything cold. So this is perfect.
And guys, I just wanted to start off with this, and just by saying that the reason why we're doing this is because we get a lot of new people coming in, and even in our local area and at our gym, I get a lot of people coming up to me asking, what is some easy breakfast ideas? What are some quick ideas? They just think basically vegans just eat kale for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So we want to just give you some tangible things to basically you can see, right?
Yeah. And because, you guys know when you join this group, you get asked a couple of questions, what you need help with. Probably the most popular thing is food ideas, recipe ideas, and how to do plant-based foods, but still in a fitness-oriented way, which is what this group is all about. So want to help you guys out with that stuff. All right, so getting started, I'm going to deconstruct it. I'm going to break it down and show you guys how to do this and how to give you some different ideas for it.
And guys, what I was going to say quickly is if you have questions or anything, post them in the comment section. And what we'll do is I'll let Lauren just go. And then at the end, if you guys have any questions regarding vegan, plant-based breakfast ideas, anything regarding food, breakfast, vegan stuff in general, post it in the comments. And what we'll do is hang around to the end and we'll address everything for you as well. So,
cool beans. All right, so first off is your oats, of course. Okay, this is the first thing you're going to start with. And what I want to tell you guys is that you can use both rolled oats or you can do steel cut oats. But your oatmeal texture is just going to be very different. So you can still do overnight oats with steel cut oats. And I'll tell you kind of the differences. And oats in and of themselves are gluten-free. So for those of you who are looking for gluten-free, as long as they're not contaminated with anything else in them, it's just pure oats, they're naturally gluten-free. Now, if you want a traditional oatmeal texture, you're going to want to go with rolled oats. If you like kind of more of a nutty muesli type texture, you can go with the steel cut oats. They're pretty similar in nutritional value, but of course the steel cut is a little bit less processed, so that's going to be kind of your best bet. But they're really very similar as far as nutrition and definitely as far as macros and things go. So you can pick and choose which one you like best. I will say the rolled oats I find are best if you make them kind of the night before, maybe even 2 days. The steel cut oats can go longer, and I find that the longer the better. These, after they sit for maybe too many days, 4 or 5 days, they start to get more mushy. But with this one, the longer it sits, the better it gets. So this one is really great if you want to meal prep a whole week in advance, Monday through Friday. You can go with this, and it'll still work really, really well. Now, the other thing I will let you guys know, you can do 2 ways. And this one is good if you're just like a single individual. You can prep them in individual small jars. You can make different flavors, which I'll show you guys. But what I also like to do, and which is great, especially if you have kids, if you're using this, or maybe just husband and wife who are both doing it but have different likes as far as the flavors go, make a big jar of just your plain oats, and then you can scoop it out individually and decorate it in the morning with your own individual toppings.
That's a good idea.
Okay, so 2 different ways to think about it. And you can even get bigger. We've got like big half-gallon jars. You can even do that if you have like huge family. I know my friend Sarah has like 5 kids. They've got, you know, both her and her husband. Like, make a big old jar of just plain oats, and then each person can top it their own way when they dish it out in the morning. And you can put it in your little jars in the morning. All right, so first thing to start with is your oats. Then the next thing you're going to go with is sweeteners. So think about what kind of sweeteners you want to use. If you're staying low calorie, if you're trying to lose weight, go for something like stevia. These are, and there are even more options than this. They're like agave and stuff. These are my top picks for healthy sweeteners. Stevia if you're trying to lose weight, if you're not as worried about the calories. But I like these other things because they're really natural. So even though it's sugar and it has more calories, it's still staying with really natural sugars. So I love coconut sugar, is one of my favorites. If you want to go with the liquid version, you've got coconut nectar, or a really good one for oatmeal because it has that mapley flavor. It's just a pure organic maple syrup. So oats, then sweeten it, and then you can do different fillers and toppers. So as far as fillers go, protein powders, I love to add, and you don't even have to add a full scoop. You can do as much or as little as you want. So you can do like a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, a full scoop. Full scoop is usually about 4 tablespoons or a 1/4 cup worth. It just depends on your brand of protein and the size of the scoop and the serving size. I really like the protein in it, not only because it adds some extra protein, but it gives it a really good consistency. It makes it really creamy, kind of thickens it up really nicely, and it sweetens it a little bit as well because your protein powder usually has some kind of sweetener in it. So I love that. Another thing as far as helping the texture is you can use chia seeds, you can use flax seeds, you can use my favorite, hemp hearts. All of those things will also kind of thicken it up and change up the macronutrients. So of course these are going to add a little bit of healthy fats, which is good. If you're trying to cut your calories down, then you would want to use a little bit less of the fats, possibly. It really just depends on your plan. Like for me, I have to have that like satiation in the morning in my morning meal. So even if I'm cutting calories later, I like to have some of those healthy fats in the morning. So those are some of kind of your next step fillers, if you would. All right, and then we're going to move into your toppings, or also for mix-ins, you can do nut butters. It's really, really common. That will also help with your texture. And I've got sunflower butter here. You can use peanut butter, almond butter, cashew butter, really any of your nut butters. If you're going lower calorie, trying to lose weight, you can do something like PB2, which is just powdered peanuts with the fats and oils removed. So it'll give you that peanut butter flavor, and it will add some of the creaminess because it's powdered, but you don't get as many calories because it doesn't have the oil in it. There you go. Good idea. Now, those are all things that you can mix in the night before or whatever when you prep. You can still add them if you want, like if you're making a big jar for the whole family and you just want to prep your oats with the milk in it, then you can do that. And then you can still add protein powder, hemp seeds, anything like that the next morning. Or what I do, since I'm just making it for myself, I mix all those things in together first. The toppings are what I'll save for the morning of when I eat it, which are things that you just don't want to like go soggy. So nuts and seeds, things like pumpkin seeds, I love. Pecans, almonds, cashews, anything, whatever you've got. Coconut, shredded coconut, coconut chips, coconut flakes, however you like it. If you want it crunchy, get like the toasted coconut chips. You can do dried fruit, dried cranberries, some golden raisins, apricots, anything like that. You can add frozen or fresh fruit. So frozen fruit, you can even mix it in there if you want to kind of have it soak up, and you'll get like a good purpley kind of oatmeal. Like it'll go through the whole thing if you want to add your frozen fruit even the night before when you prep it. Also, similar to that would be like a jelly. So you could do a peanut butter and jelly flavored overnight oats. And that one you can mix through the whole thing, get all the flavor. Cinnamon, of course, is really great. Good flavor. Cinnamon will go well with like the maple syrup. Bananas, so you can use fresh fruit. Bananas are really simple. Slice it up, throw it on there with some pecans, maple syrup, top that in the morning. That's freaking amazing. It's so good, and it's so easy to do, you guys. So I think I've covered vanilla extract. You can use extracts, things like that, to just kind of boost your flavor. I think that covers what I have out here that I wanted to show you. Now I'm going to actually make one in front of you and show you how to do it. Hang on, I gotta get the milk. Gotta get the milk.
And like I was saying, guys, if you have any questions, I'm seeing things come through on the screen, but if you have any questions about any breakfast ideas or anything regarding this, just post it in the comments. And what we'll do is we'll do a little Q&A at the end if there's any questions. So right now I'm not kind of, relaying anything to her, but I will at the very end, just so she can get this done for you guys. And so we have that Khalifa Farm coconut and coconut water blend as well. It's pretty good.
Yeah, so you can use any kind of nut milk.
Yeah.
It's totally fine. And I'll tell you guys, this flavor that I made ahead of time, I even used a flavored syrup. So not a maple syrup, but it was something that we had gotten when we were in Tennessee. It's like an apple butter syrup. So it gives it that apple flavor. I added some cinnamon. Really good like fall flavors going on there. And then I even have fresh apples that I can chop up, top it with that fresh. All right, so what you want to do, it depends what kind of oats you're using. If you're using rolled oats, you're going to want to do equal parts oats to milk. If you're doing steel cut, you'll want to add a little bit more milk, maybe like 1 1/4 or 1 1/2 times the milk more than you have oats. Okay, so I'm going to go with the rolled oats just because that's the most common that people will do. And so 1 serving of rolled oats would be like a 1/2 cup dry. This is a 1/4 cup measuring cup that I have, so I'm going to do 2 of these scoops. There we go. So we got oats. Now we're going to take our plant milk. And we're going to do, and if you don't want to measure, you could even just kind of just right up to the level of your oats. We're going to do the same amount of milk as we did oats. So a 1/2 cup. There we go. Now, I will say, if you're going to add, that's just if you're doing oats and milk. Just stir it up so that it can all get wet, and it's going to soak in itself in the fridge overnight or over several nights. This can go for like 5 days. If you're going to add protein powders, add some extra milk. So probably about even or maybe a little bit more, just depending on how thick or kind of loose you like your texture. So if you add a tablespoon of protein powder, add another 1 to 2 tablespoons of milk with it. Same thing if you add chia seeds, flax seeds, hemp seeds, add a little bit more milk as well, because those things are going to also soak up some of that liquid. But essentially, you can do it just as simple as this, right? Oats, milk, stick it in your fridge.
Done.
Done. Soak it for 8 hours or as long as 5 days. If you want to sweeten it, I would suggest throw your sweetener in here now, stick it in the fridge so that it really kind of absorbs that. And then, like I said, you can add protein powders or your other texture things, so protein powders or your seeds. You can add those either the night before or when you top it in the morning. Definitely save your nuts and your fresh fruit for topping it in the morning, so that'll be best that way. That is it. Super, super simple. Do you guys want me to add some flavors and do something with this one?
Go for it.
So let's add a little bit of just a vanilla type protein powder. So I'm not using a full scoop. It's maybe like a tablespoon of that. This is how I would make one. hemp seeds, my seed of choice. Like maybe another tablespoon of this.
High in omegas, high in protein.
And let's do some maple syrup. Haven't even opened this one yet. So like a serving size, okay, this gives you a big serving size, a quarter cup would be 210 calories. I would only use maybe a tablespoon, which is 1/4 of that serving. So add that in there. Why don't we go for the peanut butter and jelly, like I was talking about. So we're gonna do PB2 instead of the nut butter itself. We'll add a little bit of that. And then we can add some jelly. You can do like one to 2 tablespoons of whatever jelly. This is wild blueberry, organic jelly. Now I'm going to stir this up. And because we added all those powders, protein powder and the PB2, I'm going to add a little bit more milk. Stir it up, and then I will just close that with the lid. I'll stick it in the fridge, let it just soak. And then I'll have this one for breakfast tomorrow morning. I'll probably top it with some pumpkin seeds, maybe some fresh banana slices.
And guys, Lauren's been doing this every day. I mean, this is not just something that she's just doing for the group and saying, here's some overnight oats, and then she's eating like, something else. Like she's literally been doing this every day because it's just so easy and it's cheap too. Like you think of the cost of a bag of oats.
So this is the one that I had already made, and I'll top it. All right. Do you have any questions you want to throw at me?
We've just got like mainly just comments. So like Erica says, yes, overnight oats in my jam. Elaine says PB2 is the best invention ever. Kim says yay. Carrie says fresh banana slices. You're out of control. Like you're living life on the edge.
Yes.
And they had this spotted to hell as well.
Yeah, and get creative. Like, I mean, I would put any kind of fruit. That's the thing with if you make the little jars and you can like make all kinds of different flavors. Just start with the same exact base, your oats, your milk, a sweetener, whatever.
And you can
then like we've got peaches in the fridge, we've got apples, we have figs. You can do one of each.
You can live life on the edge.
You can live it on the edge.
You can live life right on the edge. You can add in banana slices, and you can add in
some sriracha.
You can add in kiwi, and just really live on the edge.
Yum.
So guys, that is your idea for today. Anything else, Lauren?
Execute on it. Practice it.
Yeah, do it, guys.
Put it into practice.
Do it.
Make it a habit. The more you do it, the easier it gets, the faster you get with it.
Do it and post it in the group, damn it.
Yeah.
Please. We want to see you guys taking action. Carrie, I want to see your big jar of overnight oats.
Carrie will
like
have
a 64 ounce jar with 20 bananas in it. All right, guys.
That's it for today. Thank you guys. See you later.